C-Train here, checking in from the station. And hey, UFC fans, can we do a little UFC 306 recap real quick? Okay, number one, the Sphere thing was pretty ridiculous. That was amazing. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think that, when Dana White, and I'm going to put this out there because I want it to be, when Dana White said that UFC, it's a one and done, UFC aren't going to do the Sphere anymore, ever again, I am still calling that it's a lie. And also, here's the thing. He's like, no, we can't do the Sphere again because UFC has a deal with MGM or something like that where they have to be at these venues or something. Okay, real quick. I still think that they'll have another event at the Sphere. Remember that I said that. I like that even though he said that they wouldn't at the beginning. Okay, so anyways, so we're going back. Amazing event, ridiculous. The whole thing, the whole, oh my gosh, the whole extravaganza, right? Absolutely the spectacle. Sport spectacle. Amazing right there. Let's talk about those championship fights though. Let's talk about, I did a preview earlier. I did Merab versus Sugar Show. I said that my heart said Merab, but honestly, I was thinking Sugar Show, that Sean O'Malley would take it. What did I learn? What did we learn from these fights? I'll tell you what I think I learned. Wrestling, the ground game, and grappling were key components. I would say the key components to not only Valentina Shevchenko winning and new against Alexa Grasso, but with Merab beating Sugar Show. Merab was able to employ grappling, was able to wrestle Sugar Show to the ground. Sean O'Malley got up, of course, many times, but it's about, he was able to take Sean to the ground, and he was able to hold O'Malley there for quite a bit of the fight, honestly. There was a good amount of ground control. Now let's specifically talk about Merab versus O'Malley. When strikers have an off night, it can be really difficult to finish the fight, to finish the opponent, right? When a striker isn't striking, it's tough to win because how else are you doing it? And I'm not saying that this is mixed martial arts, right? But I'm talking about Sugar Show. Not only did he came out during his walkout, he looked a little nervous, like a lot of nervous, honestly. He looked like maybe he didn't want to be there. And here's the difference though. When Sean O'Malley, who is just a striker first, okay? He's a mixed martial artist, but he is a striker, okay? When he's not necessarily in it, he's not engaging. He's not engaging a lot because he's not going to grapple and wrestle a wrestler and grappler, right? And if you're not striking, okay. Now listen to this. And it's very tough to win. My contention is that when you're a wrestler and grappler, when you don't necessarily and aren't in it, you still will shoot for those takedowns and you still go for it. And that's the difference, is that you still have the mentality to exchange, and it is very easy. It's easy for a wrestler to be like, okay, I want to win. I'm going to take this to a decision. Okay, easily. The wrestling mindset, it tends to lean towards embracing that, hey, I can take you down. I can keep you down. I'll win that decision. Good to go. Strikers, it's not necessary. What is a striker going to say? I'm going to just keep behind my jab and just dance for the whole time. You can try and do that. We all know in mixed martial arts that's very difficult to do. Just sit there and stand behind one type of combination or anything like that. So when strikers aren't in it and don't want to kill, honestly, and finish, they are in big, big, big trouble. And that's what happened to O'Malley, in my opinion. He didn't seem like he wanted to be there. Afterwards, he said that he was out of it, that he wasn't necessarily in that mindset, right? He was almost like despondent. And that's going to be really, really difficult for anybody to overcome, especially a striker, right? Here's the difference. I'll give you multiple examples of sort of what I mean. Okay, here is, I believe that one of the most dynamic ever mixed martial artists, so able to combine striking, stand-up, ground game, finishing, is Georges St-Pierre. And when Georges St-Pierre used to get in trouble, GSP, good old GSP. Okay, seriously, he'd be punching and maybe his jab and stuff wouldn't work. Okay, his corner would always, just wrestle him, George. Just wrestle him, go. And that's how George St. Pierre would get so many of his victories, right? Is like, if there was even a 50-50 exchange in the stand-up, or if somebody was getting the better, of George St. Pierre, just take him down. I will take you down and I will ground and pound until you are done. Or until the thing is that, you know what I'm saying? Okay, number one, my George St. Pierre impression isn't the best, but you all know what I mean if you're UFC fans. Okay, and it's going to be tough for Sugar Show to stay incredibly competitive without implementing some sort of, he's got good wrestling defense, and I know that he's going to be practicing that a lot, but without extremely good wrestling defense and also some sort of attack on the ground. Because if and when the fight does get there, he must do something or learn some other tactic other than honestly just trying to get up. He's got to be dangerous on the ground. He has to be dangerous. So one more example is, how about this? When George St. Pierre, because he can wrestle, when there's a 50-50, he can always use wrestling to his advantage. Now, listen to this. Derek Lewis, though, the Black Beast at heavyweight, when he doesn't throw those hands, he's in big time trouble, right? He's a good wrestler. He could wrestle as well. But we all know what I'm talking about. When he doesn't throw, when he's not engaged in there, he is susceptible. So the strikers need to look out. They need to be cognizant of that. They have to understand that in those 50-50s, they're going to have either some defense, some extreme takedown defense. They're going to have to be offensive in their defense when it comes to grappling and wrestling if they're not better at it than their opponent. So, and then one more, and this is just when we look at how I'm trying to explain how wrestlers and grapplers have this, when all else fails, break glass and freaking go to wrestling mindset. Put wrestling brain chip in, grind. When strikers are in trouble or anything, they break glass, and what do they go to? I don't know. You tell me what they go to. You tell me. And here's what I mean, and I'll end with this, okay? When John Jones fought Cyril Gane, it was... This is what pretty much happened. It seemed like Bones was feeling out Gane in the stand-up and stuff like that. Gane maybe had a couple nice exchanges, and John Bones Jones, literally, if you look at that, he's like, got it. I'm going to decide to wrestle and grapple. I'm just going to grab onto you and choke you out and strangle you. It does, I'm done with this aspect. Okay, that's the difference. John Bones Jones is, in my opinion, easily pound for pound, number one all time. John Bones Jones is my GOAT easily because of this. Because when he couldn't stand up or just, it didn't matter. He was standing up with Cyril Gane and then didn't like what he saw, in my opinion, and was like, got it. Okay, because I am a champion. I'm a legendary wrestler and grappler. I'm one of the best of all time, if not the best. John Bones Jones, got it. I'm just going to take this guy out and choke him out. That's what Bones can do, and that's what separates a guy like a fighter like Bones Jones and also George St. Pierre from champions who are champions as well, but champions in like a Sean O'Malley. And even, I would say, like a Conor McGregor, okay? So if I've learned anything, is that wrestling, it's not dead or anything like that. It didn't even go away. Islam Makhachev, right? But strikers need to beware, and they need to have access to some sort of offense on the ground and win in the grappling exchange. Hey, subscribe, comment below. What do you think about that? Comment below, especially if you think that I'm a little off with my grappling, wrestling versus striking. What do strikers do when they're having an off night and they don't have access to wrestling and grappling? Because even when wrestlers and grapplers have an off night, they're still wrestling and grappling, which gains you points advantage in these matchups. All right. See you next time at C-Train Station. I'm out.